right. So here we go. 2022 KLR 650 Adventure. I've had it now for a little while. I got 351 miles on it. And I didn't make a video right away because I just wanted to enjoy the bike. First time I ever bought anything brand new off the showroom floor. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Why is the 2022 KLR 650 terrible? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and name off the things that are terrible to begin with. Number one is the rubber-mounted foot pegs, which are nice for long cruises and it dampens the vibration. But these foot pegs, when you stand up on them, you can feel them sink down on both sides. And it feels like your feet are about to slide off the pegs. The second thing is they shortened first gear. Now, they shortened it for why? I don't know, but it definitely has a lot more torque in first gear. But it is really short. I mean, you can see it there. The back tire broke loose and immediately hit the rev limiter. Why they shortened it? I don't know. Maybe it has more low-end torque for that slow moving. But I've noticed, like, it is really short. But at the same time, they also, for somehow, fifth gear is longer. Now, I'm not 100% positive on this. I'm just going off of my, the feeling that I feel from my previous generation, my Gen 2 Cypher Camo KLR. So the gearing is just a little bit different. Now, it's not completely terrible, but it is different. The other thing, third thing, I would say makes it terrible is the front suspension. It dives. When you hit the front brake, the whole front end nosedives. Not terrible, but if you're not expecting it, it might get you. The fourth thing, and this one to me, I don't know why they're still doing it. Even with the previous generations, they put these terrible mirrors on them. These round mirrors. Everything on the bike is nice and angular and looks really good. And then they go and slap round mirrors on it. Well, they could just put, I know they put different mirrors on other bikes, so why not just put a good mirror on it? I mean, I could see, but it's not the greatest. Like, I'm going to have to, like, really, like, they're not mirrors where I can just quick glance and lane change. I have to really look into the mirror and see what is in that lane and then, do the old shoulder check. But I just feel like if the mirror was a little bit narrow and a little bit longer, you'd be able to see a little more. So I don't know if you noticed the trend that is going on with everything that is terrible about this bike. Everything is easily fixed with aftermarket. And this being the third generation, a lot of the Gen 2 parts will fit on this bike, which I think is pretty cool. Number one, the doohickey, still there. Don't know if it's going to be a problem or not. We'll find out when I pull off the side cover or 3D Cycle Parts or whoever gets theirs and pulls it off and takes a look. Then we'll know. But everything I mentioned is able to be changed through aftermarket, except for one thing. And I mean, I get it. Oh, there's baby little Gator. Hi, Gator. There's one thing that just it drives me nuts a little bit, and it's the location of the fog lights button right here. So if I'm cruising down the road and I want to turn the fog lights on, I have to take my hands off the handlebars and turn the fog lights on. Now, if they would have put a switch over here, I think that would have been a little bit better, but that's like literally the only thing that I can truly complain about the bike. And I think the last thing I'd have to gripe about is the front headlight. Now, the front headlight itself is super bright and you can see very far with it. But when you sit on the bike, the headlight goes up and it points at the sky. So low beam, you can see everything, but when you put high beam on, you're staring at the trees. Now, there is an adjustment for it to fix that problem. But when I get off the bike, it is completely level. Not standing on the bike, it's perfect. But when I sit on the bike, it's too high. So it needs to be adjusted. Not terrible. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, all the complaining, let's go over all the great things about this bike. I mean, comparative to my previous second gen, my 2016, it's not that different. But it is, in so many different ways. Riding the 2022 KLR 650 is like riding a second gen that is modded to the max with the pristine jet kit. Everything is comfortable and set up right, and you have a really nice second gen. That's basically what the 2022 is.
Alrighty, well, now my Senna died, so I can't talk through the helmet, but I brought the ESO M50 with me. Wanted to go ahead and talk about the positive sides of the 2022 KLR 650. Number one, the styling. I mean, just the way they styled it, everything about it just looks awesome. I love the headlights, the fog lights, everything together. It just looks really good. The ride, it rides really smooth. So don't really have any complaints. I know I titled this video a little weird things that are terrible about the bike, but I know it would get some views. So I did name some things that are pretty terrible with it that a lot of people are not going to like. But to me, those are just things that I personally can change with no problems with aftermarket parts on this thing. So overall, I'm super happy with it. Glad I made the switch from the second gen to the new third gen. It's definitely worth it for me. It is a smoother bike with the rubber mounted handlebars, the rubber mounted foot pegs, and the rubber on the seat as well. Another cool thing about this bike is whenever you work on it, on the second gen, you had to remove the side panels to get to the seat bolts. Well, with this one, they have just two bolts on the outside that you can take off and the seat comes right off. So there's just little things here and there that they changed ever so slightly on this bike to make it a little bit better than the previous generations, and I think they knocked it out of the park. So yeah, with that being said, there's gonna be more content to come on Haku number 2. Haku is back. The Adventures of Full Throttle Junkie and Haku. So we will be camping, we will be adventuring, and we will be doing some prepping. Yeah, I'm gonna do a prepping video on a motorcycle, so stay tuned for that one. If you're not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button, make the bell gray, all that good jazzy snazzy. So yeah, just let's throw up some B-roll of this beautiful bike, and thank you guys for coming along and watching this KLR adventure, if you will. So anyways, as always, I'm Full Throttle Junkie. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Woo!